of Hollywood's biggest names, like Rock Hudson and Doris Day, but they are now offices for companies like Illumination Entertainment. Now, Illumination Entertainment brought you the Despicable Me franchise, and Secret Life of Pets, and Secret Life of Pets 2, and The Grinch movie starring Benedict Cumberbatch as the voice of the Grinch. Elizabeth Banks also has offices in these bungalows. You might know her from Scrubs, or Pitch Perfect, or The Hunger Games. While her production company, Brownstone Productions, actually produced Pitch Perfect 2. She directed Pitch Perfect 2, and she was in Pitch Perfect 2. So talk about a really cool triple threat. Now our bungalows, they are really nice. They are so nice that sometimes we cannot get people to leave. So if you look to your left-hand side in bungalow 5195, you will see a familiar silhouette. That is a silhouette of Alfred Hitchcock. That used to be his bungalow, but it now belongs to the De Laurentiis Company. And something spooky must run in the water there, because they are responsible for bringing the legend of Hannibal Lecter to the big and small screen. Now on your left-hand side, we have our two newest sound stages 22 and 23. We like to call those the Will and Grace sound stages. Will and Grace stars Megan Mullally, Deborah Messing, Sean Hayes, and Eric McCormick. What's unique about these sound stages is the front is all offices, and the back are two huge sound stages with a wall that can be lifted up to create one ginormous sound stage. World of Dance and America's Got Talent also utilize these sound stages, but the first production to use these new sound stages was NBC's Hairspray Live. Now the cast and crew of Hairspray Live would film all their interior scenes in here, and then during the commercial break they would run to the back lot to film their exterior scenes, and that is where we are headed right now, to the world famous Universal Studios back lot. So make sure you have those cameras ready, because you never know who or what you might see on the back lot. First up on our back lot, we have our Brownstone Street. Now, Brownstone Street on your right-hand side can be seen in TV shows like The Mindy Project starring Mindy Kaling, movies like Gone Girl starring Rosamund Pike and Ben Affleck, and this Jim Carrey film right here on your screens.
Grace, the dog!
I'm in the shower!
Inside bad, outside good. Inside bad, outside good. Oh, you're done now. B-E-A-U.
Yes, that was Jim Carrey and Bruce Almighty. But we are now leaving our Brownstone Street behind, and we are entering into the small town of Hill Valley. Yes, welcome to our Courthouse Square, or as you might know it as, where Marty McFly lived in Back to the Future. You might notice things look a little different from when Marty McFly lived here. That's because this set became so recognizable, we had to change things up a little bit. That way, every time you saw something that was filmed here since Back to the Future, like Parenthood or Ghost Whisperer, you weren't saying, oh yeah, that's the Back to the Future set. For example, that tree, all those trees, that circular patch of grass, all those patches of grass, the bushes can all be moved around and changed. But I bet never in your wildest dreams did you think we could be where we filmed Back to the Future and then immediately go see where we film a Taylor Swift music video. Well, on your left-hand side, this theater right here that's all lit up was seen in Taylor Swift's Wildest Dreams music video. Now we are on our historic New York street where American Ninja Warrior films their Los Angeles qualifying rounds, and we filmed Fast and Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw. But since we are in New York, I'm going to go back to my co-host, Jimmy Fallon, the man who brought this night show back to the Big
Hey
Apple.
everyone, welcome to New York. I got my start right here in New York on Saturday Night Live. This is actually my old neighborhood. I once got mugged over there by an old woman. Tough lady. This is my favorite hot dog guy. Hey buddy, how's it going? Remember me? No. Just like old times. Gotta live in New York City. Hey, I'm walking here. Yeah, it's cool, guys. I was just walking there. So it's not exactly New York, but a lot of times when you see New York in the movies, it was shot right here on the Universal Metro sets. If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. Even if you make it here on the Universal lot.
Now, Steven Spielberg led the redesign team of our New York street, and we love working with Spielberg here at Universal. Other directors that we love working with are Ron Howard, Angelina Jolie, Jordan Peele, and Peter Jackson.
It's the original King Kong that made me want to direct movies. I saw that movie on TV when I was about 8 years old. I like films that just take you away from your real life and sweep you up an adventure. Kong literally does that. I mean, you're on board the ship, you're sailing to a lost island, you're encountering monsters and creatures from, prehistoric times. And so I was thrilled when Universal invited me back to Skull Island, and it's great to have you along for the ride. Now, we have created this 3D immersive experience, so you're going to have your glasses ready. Don't put them on yet, but just have them in your hand because we're about to return to Skull Island.
And as you return to Skull Island, please remember to remain seated at all times, keeping arms, legs, personal belongings inside the tram, and please no flash photography.
More than the water world.
Now, as I said, that was King Kong 360 3D. That was brought to you on the world's second largest 3D screens. I'll show you the first largest later on the tour. Those screens were 40 feet tall, 180 feet wide, and utilized some of the most advanced technology in filmmaking today. That was brought to you by Peter Jackson and the team at Weta Digital. Your screen says that Weta Digital has won 5, but they've actually won 6 Academy Awards. And they worked on films like King Kong, Rise of the Planet of the Apes, The Lord of the Rings, and the Hobbit trilogies, and Avatar, and Wonder Woman, and Avengers Infinity War, just to name a few.
With a Project Break Studio tour, the audience is in the middle of the environment. They're looking in all directions, there's creatures coming at them, they're seeing Kong from this side and T-Rexes from the other side. Working on a movie, we always know where people are looking straight ahead, they're looking at the shot they're working on. Here you have to take into account that people are looking in all directions. Also, one of the things about this ride, unlike the movies that we're used to working on, there's no cuts. Because it's one long shot. This tram that's driving along through Skull Island is where the camera's from. This ring represents where the screen is 10 meters away. We're really creating about 50 minutes of a feature film. That amount of visual information, that number of pixels, and presenting them to the audience because it's a hell of a ride.
Now, Now, during King Kong 360 3D, part of the tram went onto the screen and became part of the story. The people inside that tram were Peter Jackson and the team at What A Digital. They put that little surprise in there for us. But anytime you see a tram, a car, a bus, a boat, a bike, a plane, real or cartoon on a movie or TV show, it is what we like to call a picture car. And in just a few moments, we will be seeing some of Universal's most famous picture cars. So make sure you all get those cameras ready. Now, I want to point out the second picture car right here on your left-hand side, Tom Selleck's Ferrari from Magnum PI. Now, I like to call that a faux Ferrari because it's really a Volkswagen engine inside of a Ferrari shell. Now, my favorite picture cars that we have are the Flintstone picture cars. They even have their very own cute little bedrock license plate. But I hate to break it to you, they are not actually foot-powered. We couldn't do that to our poor actors and actresses. We have a very recognizable picture car from our Jurassic World movie starring Bryce Dallas Howard and Chris Pratt. Now, Laura Dern and Jeff Goldblum will be returning for the next installment of the Jurassic World franchise. I want to point out this last car that we have from Transformers, this big tank. Now, that big tank is actually just a tank made out of plywood and a really good paint job. I promise I've not done it myself. Now, why do we do that? Well, Transformers filmed on our New York Street and in downtown LA, so it's a lot more lightweight and easier to transport, and it doesn't drive in the film. Now, on your right and left-hand side, we have two more picture cars, one from our Jurassic World movies and one from our Jurassic Park movies. And speaking of our Jurassic Park movies,
welcome to Jurassic Park.
yes, everything that you're seeing right now is really used in our Jurassic Park movies. On your left-hand side, we have the mobile lab from the Lost World Jurassic Park, and it looks like there's some dinosaurs that have escaped and they're in that mobile lab. Victor, should we stop and help the people inside that mobile lab, or no, we're just gonna keep going and saving ourselves? I like that plan. Well, hopefully they are just contained inside that mobile lab. Spielberg likes to use a lot of extreme weather effects in his films because it's effective, but the film is just actually moved out west, excuse me, to sunny Southern California because of our beautiful weather day in and day out. You guys just got a little taste of that today. So what happens when a production calls for weather that's a little more exciting than beautiful sunshine? Well, we come down here to Old Mexico, where we film movies like Three Amigos, starring Steve Martin, Martin Short, and Chevy Chase. We filmed TV shows like Westworld, The OC, Arrested Development, Shameless. But here in Old Mexico, we can also create weather. We can create that lightning that you're seeing by using strobe lights, that thunder that you're hearing by using sound effects, and then using a sprinkler system that shoots recycled water directly up into the sky, we can create rain. All right, I'm going to turn this off. Victor, my off button's not working. You don't have an emergency one, do you? They took it out. That's what I thought. All right, we'll keep taking pictures and videos, everyone. We just got to figure a way to turn this off. I'm just going to keep hitting the button. I think that maybe it's like stuck. I hit the button too many times. It's a flash flood. We just made a little joke on you. That flash flood water is just gallons and gallons and gallons of recycled water that are now making their way back up to the top of the hill. It's a surprise and extra. You can see that flash flood effect right here on your screen. The movie Big Fat Liar starring Amanda Bynes, Paul Giamatti, and Frankie Muniz.
You can't outrun the wolf, kid! Yeah, we'll see about that.
We have now left Old Francisco behind, and we've entered 6 Points, Texas. Now, right here in 6 Points, Texas, Quentin Tarantino filmed his brand new movie, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, starring Margot Robbie, Brad Pitt, and Leonardo DiCaprio. That movie is nominated for a few Golden Globe Awards, and we'll see on Sunday if they win. But it looks like on your left-hand side, there's an old-fashioned barroom brawl happening at the Dressmakers. And now let's take a look at some Western stars. Everyone know that we are approximately at the halfway mark of our tour. So I just want to remind everybody to stay seated during the entire tour. This studio is private property, and if you drop your phone or you just can't wait to use the restroom, pull the red cord to get my attention, and I will be back to assist you, but do remain seated on the tram. Now, we have lots of active filming going on all the time here at Universal. In fact, there is some active filming happening tonight in Soundstage 50. Now, the cast and crew told my manager that if we come by while they are on a dinner break, which should be right about now, that we will be able to come and take a peek at their set. So it looks like that is happening, but we made them a promise that we would remain seated the whole time, keeping arms, legs, personal belongings inside the tram, because we do not want to disrupt the filming process in any way. It is so nice that they're letting us come in here. Now, I do not know what is filming in here tonight, but I do know that this is the only 2-level soundstage in existence. So right above us, there is another fully decorated set. And I got to see it earlier. It is so cool. It has a big truck up there. It's set up to look like a street in San Francisco. Well, down here is set up to look like a subway station in San Francisco. And look at all the details that really make this come to life. Oh, wow. It's so cool. Let's take a look at the earthquake effect on the TV show Bones.
Oh, that's scary.
What's going on?
Well, after all that earthquake stress, I think we all deserve a nice relaxing beach trip, so let's take a trip to the cute little town of Amity Island. Now, I know you're thinking that's a town that's terrorized in Jaws. I do not want to go there, but if you look to your right-hand side, you'll see we caught that pesky shark. He's hanging up on your right-hand side. Now, let's all remember to remain seated because my friend George, the man who caught that shark, is in the water right now doing a final sweep. So I'm gonna see if George could come out and say hi and tell us what it's like to catch a shark. Here's George now. Hey, George. Oh no, George is being eaten by a shark right now. Oh, poor George. George had a lot of guts running out there. Ooh, and there's those guts right there. Well, George told me that we do like to keep some shark bait in that yellow barrel, so we're going to pull ahead and hopefully that shark will take that bait. He's taking the bait. He's taking the pier. We're going to need a bigger frame. Again, please remember to remain seated. We don't want what happened to George to happen to us. Shark look pretty big. Well, how come you're all screaming back there? I saw you screaming back there. Now, if you look to your right-hand side, you'll see the only shark in the world that can do the backstroke. Now, remember when we passed Soundstage 21 at the beginning of the tour? I told you that they tested the mechanical shark in there and it worked great. Well, that's because they tested that shark in freshwater. But when they brought it out to the Atlantic Ocean for filming, that is filled with salt water. So the shark immediately sunk to the bottom of the ocean and gave the cast and crew so many issues, they actually nicknamed the movie Flaws. Now, Steven Spielberg was not the first choice director to direct the movie Jaws, but the first choice director did not know the difference between a whale and a shark. He didn't think that was a big deal. So he was out and Spielberg was in. Now, the town of Amity Island was a different coastal town in this TV show. Yes, it was where Angela Lansbury lived in Murder, She Wrote. Now, I want to pull something up on your screens right here. So this chicken ranch right here on your screens is right there on your right-hand side. Now, this chicken ranch is what we call a practical set, meaning you can film inside, outside, and all around. But it is surrounded by facades, meaning we build just the parts that the camera will see. Now, this chicken ranch was built inside of Soundstage 12, the very first soundstage I showed you. In fact, right here on your screens, here it is inside of Soundstage 12. So there it is in real life, and on your screens, there it is inside of a soundstage. Now, this chicken ranch can be seen in these films right here on your screens. Now, right here, you might think this is a kind of a useless looking road. It's just a road to get from point A to point B, but we really do film right here on this road because it looks like we're in the middle of nowhere. So, for example, the TV show 911 filmed right here. There you filmed an episode. Also, the movie Bird Box starring Sandra Bullock filmed some scenes here. Now, this road is called Steven Spielberg Drive. It is the longest road on our lot, and Spielberg said it was a huge honor that we named it after him. But we love working with Spielberg here at Universal. Another director that we love working with is Ron Howard. Now, Ron Howard directed one of the biggest productions to take place on our lot. It was so big it used 11 sound stages, and here's a clue as to what that movie was.
You're as cuddly as a cactus, and as charming as an eel, Mr. Lynch.
You're a bad banana with a greasy black peel.
Yes, that movie was How the Grinch Stole Christmas, starring Jim Carrey as the Grinch. Welcome to Whoville, everyone. But you know what? The Who's live next door to a pretty big psycho nowadays. Yes, the Grinch is the least of their problems because here on the Universal Backlot, Norman Bates is their neighbor. As we turn the corner, you'll be seeing two of the most historic sets still standing in Hollywood today, the Bates Motel and the Psycho House.
They're watching me. I'll let them see what kind of a person I am. I hope they are watching. They'll see, and they'll know, and they'll say, "My she wouldn't even harm a fly."
Now be sure to look out for Mother on your left-hand side, rocking away in the window. And as we leave behind two of the most historic sets in Hollywood today, we are now entering one of its most awe-inspiring sets. Yes, this is where Tom Cruise's family hides out in Steven Spielberg's War of the Worlds.
The airplane crash site set is a perfect example of a set that was all designed around a vision that Steven had.
Again, to sit down to talk about War of the World, that thought, what if the 747 goes down right in a big neighborhood? Because it's just something we don't see.
You're doing good. You're doing good. Keep that up. Listen, now, listen, I want you to close your eyes, okay? Stand close.
Robbie, get in. Get in.
Now, I do want to let you all know that we are approximately 10 minutes from the end of the tour, and we will be returning to the theme park shortly. So remember to pull the emergency cord if you need assistance and to remain seated at all times. Now, on your right-hand side, there's a log cabin. This log cabin was most famously used in John Candy's hit comedy, The Great Outdoors. But behind that log cabin, there's a big blue wall. Now, it's kind of hard to see, so I would like to say, look at this skyline and see that line in the sky. That's that big blue wall. And in front of that big blue wall, we can fit 3.5 million gallons of water.
Evacuate.
Now that water, that airplane, that helicopter, those boats, and those actors were all right there in front of that big blue wall. And then using computer-generated imagery or CGI, we just added in the scenes of the Hudson River surrounding the water. Now, before the tour started, I was told someone on this tram is in the witness protection program. I have no idea who it is. I just know that a man named Owen Shaw is after you. So please remember, again, to remain seated at all times, giving arms, legs, personal belongings inside the tram, because we are now taking a quick detour for everyone's safety. Now, I have an idea. Let's not put on our 3D glasses just yet, but when I say so, let's all put them on at the same time to keep us in disguise. So don't put them on yet.
My name is Roman Pierce. Pleased to meet you. Buddy Hobbs asked us to stash you sharp for a while. So we brought you in our secret spot.
Alright, look guys, we're gonna keep Shaw from finding you, but to keep you safe, we need your help. We don't want the syndicate tracking us here, so put away your cameras and turn off your cell phones. One flash or one ringtone to give us a break.
I need y'all to take this real serious.
Okay, pull into the next bay and meet me here.
Alright, well it sounds like we're going to a party, and we do not want to wear 3D glasses to a party. So again, keep them close by.